Nobody stays at night, that's what this video is about. Not during the day. Everyone's busy then, easy to reach, but at night, when it actually matters. When there's nothing else pulling their attention. And I've noticed it so many times now. I stopped being surprised by it. I just started expecting it, which honestly might be worse. There was this one stretch a while back I'd be talking to someone all day. Good conversation, quick replies, that easy back and forth that makes you think something real is building. We talk about nothing, about our day, about some show, and it felt natural. It felt like the kind of thing that turns into something, and then the sun would go down, and it was like a switch flipped somewhere. Replies got slower, shorter, sometimes just stopped completely. Until the next morning, like nothing happened, like the conversation just paused itself without telling me. At first I told myself it was nothing. Maybe they fell asleep early, maybe they were busy with something. I made excuses for it because I wanted the daytime version of them to be the real one. I wanted to believe the person who talked to me for hours in the afternoon was the same person at midnight. Just quiet for a second, not gone, but it kept happening. Same pattern, different week. And after enough times, you stop making excuses. You just start noticing the pattern for what it is. What it did to my head after was worse than the actual disappearing, honestly. Because during the day I'd feel fine, normal even, distracted by my own stuff, and then it'd get late and I'd start replaying every conversation, looking for the exact moment things changed. Was it something I said? Was I too much earlier in the day? Did I come off too eager at 2 p.m. and now they needed space by 9? I'd go back through old text like I was building a case, trying to find the one line where it shifted from good to distant. And the thing is, there usually wasn't a line. It just wasn't that deep to them in the first place. But my mind couldn't accept an answer that simple. So it kept inventing theories instead. Kept looking for something to blame that wasn't just indifference. I think that's the part that actually gets to you. Not that they left, but that you can't stop looking for a reason that makes it make sense, even when there isn't one. And the pattern I keep noticing about myself and about people in general is that nighttime is when the real effort shows. Anyone can text you during the day, when they're bored between things, killing time before a meeting, sitting in traffic, waiting in line somewhere. That's easy. That costs nothing. It barely counts as choosing you. It's just filling dead air. But night is different. Night is when people actually choose what they want to be doing, who they want to be talking to, when there's no obligation forcing it. And if they don't choose you then, if you're not who they think about, when the room gets quiet and there's nothing left to distract them, that tells you something the daytime never will. I used to think being close to someone meant good conversation, shared jokes, things feeling easy, but easy is cheap now. Easy is just filling time between other things. What's actually rare is someone who wants you specifically when there's nothing else going on. When there's no one around to perform for, when it's just them and their own thoughts, and they still pick you over the silence. I think part of what scares me about it is how normal it's become to just fade at night and reappear in the morning like nothing happened, like it's expected now. Nobody explains it, nobody apologizes, it just happens. And somehow you're supposed to understand without asking any questions. And if you do ask, you're the one who looks needy. You're the one who made it weird by caring about what happens after dark. So you learn to stop asking. You learn to just notice it quietly, file it away, and hope it doesn't mean what you already know it means. But deep down, you know, if someone wanted to stay, they'd stay. It's not that people get tired at night, everyone gets tired at night. That's not an excuse. It's that tired is when the mask comes off, when the performance stops, and you get to see who they actually are when nobody's watching. And if who they are at 11 p.m. doesn't match who they were at 1 p.m., that gap right there. That's basically the whole answer already sitting in front of you. What scares me more, honestly, is the idea that this might just be how everyone operates now. That maybe nobody actually wants to be fully present anywhere anymore. During the day, there's always something to distract from real connection. Work, errands, people around, background noise. So it's easy to seem present without ever actually being present. But night strips all of that away. There's nothing left to hide behind. No excuse left to use. And if people still choose to disappear even when there's nothing else pulling their attention, that's not about being busy anymore. That's a decision. That's them deciding you're not worth the quiet hours, only the noisy, convenient ones. And I keep sitting with that thought at night, of all times, wondering if I'm the only one who gets picked last when the world goes silent. Wondering if everyone else has someone who stays, and I just haven't found that yet. Wondering if it's something specific about me, or if it's just how things are now for everyone, and I happen to notice it more than most people let themselves notice. And I think that's just what dating looks like now, if you can even call it dating anymore. Everyone's got 2 or 3 people they're half talking to at any given time, some other name sitting in some other chat, so nobody really has to sit still with just one person and build something real. During the day, it's easy to keep that going. You can reply to one person on your lunch break, another one while you're waiting for the bus, another one right before a meeting starts. And none of it costs you anything, because none of it requires real attention. It's not connection, it's more like maintenance, keeping a few people warm in case you need one of them later. I did it too, if I'm being honest. I've had days where I was talking to 2 people at once, giving both of them just enough to stay interested, and neither of them actually meant that much to me. It wasn't malicious, it was just easy. And easy is what most people default to now. Night is where all of that falls apart though, cause you can't split your attention 5 ways when it's midnight and you're tired, and the day's distractions are gone. You actually have to pick something. And what I noticed over and over is that most people pick nothing. They'd rather lie there scrolling through something that means absolutely nothing than give that time to someone who's actually asking for it. I remember one specific week I'd get these long voice notes during the day. Someone telling me about their whole afternoon, little details, jokes, all of it, and by 10 p.m. nothing, not even a good night. It wasn't that they were mad or busy, I checked. They were just done for the day, like I was a task they finished before bed. That's such a specific kind of quiet, being someone's afternoon activity, but never their nighttime one. What that does to a person over time is worse than it sounds on the surface. You start measuring your own worth by how consistent someone is after dark. And when the answer keeps coming back inconsistent, you start assuming that's just what you get. You start thinking maybe you're the kind of person people are fine talking to at 3 p.m. but don't think about at 11 p.m. And once you believe that, you stop expecting more from anyone. You start accepting the daytime version of people as the entire relationship. Because asking for the nighttime version feels greedy somehow. Feels like asking for too much. But it's not too much. It never was too much. It just feels that way after enough people quietly teach you to expect less. And that's the part that actually gets in your head. Not the disappearing itself, but what you start believing about yourself because of it. You start thinking your worth has a schedule attached to it. Worth texting back at 2 p.m., not worth thinking about at midnight. And once that idea gets planted, it's hard to shake, even when you know logically it was never really about you. At first I thought it meant something specific was wrong with me, like there was a daytime version of me that was likable, and a nighttime version that wasn't. Some switch flipping in me instead of them. I used to replay what I said earlier that day, wondering if I talked too much about something dumb, wondering if I came off too intense in an afternoon text, and that's why things went quiet by dinner. I built entire theories out of nothing, but it was never that specific. It wasn't about anything I said or didn't say. What it actually was people choosing comfort over presence every single time without even thinking about it. Choosing whatever required nothing from them over someone who might actually need something back at the end of the day. It's not that I became less interesting after 9 p.m. It's that being present for someone at night means actually showing up without a reason to leave, without a distraction pulling you somewhere else. And most people aren't built for that right now, or just haven't had to be, because there's always somewhere else to look, always something easier one scroll away. So it was never a flaw they were reacting to. It was just easier for them to go quiet than to stay, and easier usually wins. I don't really know how to end this one cleanly, because it's not the kind of thing that wraps up neat. I still notice it now, still catch myself checking the time, wondering if tonight's gonna be one of those nights where someone actually stays present, or one of those nights where everything just goes quiet again around the same hour it always does. I don't think I'm owed anyone's attention just cause it's late and I happen to be awake thinking about it. But I do think it's fair to want someone who chooses you the same at midnight as they do at noon, without that being some rare thing you have to hope for every time. That's really all it comes down to, honestly. Not needing constant company, not needing someone glued to their phone all night. Just wanting someone whose presence doesn't come with a time limit attached to it, someone who doesn't clock out the second the day gets quiet. And until that shows up, I think you just keep noticing who stays and who doesn't. Quietly, without making it a whole thing out loud. You let it tell you what it's already telling you. 'Cause it usually already has, way before you wanted to admit it.